Einstein talked about we've created this giant delusion for ourselves as seeing ourselves separate from nature and trying to reach to see ourselves of this friendly universe. And we as architects are always trying to create environments that celebrate that give people access. It's like a portal to that beautiful universe, the world that's possible. And unfortunately, most of the award-winning architecture is actually a barrier. Humans get stuck in the sculpture of it, the materiality of it, the way the systems work, and it doesn't do anything to elevate their spirit, to give them this sense of reconnection. There are, fortunately, some exceptions. This movement, this green movement, has started with trying to convert buildings as isolated pieces of sculpture to building as a system, and you've had a big role in that, and that's, Living Building has done a huge job in helping people look at that human-built environment as a system. You have to keep in mind that every decision you make either improves and enhances the vitality of the planet or not. And that's true with any human being, but if you're an architect or an engineer, that's even more critical because you're having a bigger impact. I'm most concerned about us not coming alive as a society. I think it would be easy to argue in terms of the built environment that USGBC and the LEED rating system has been the most transformative force in the design and construction world by a factor of something 3 to 5. And it's easy also to see that the Living Building Challenge is now taking leadership and helping the world understand how to go beyond doing less damage to doing something really positive. And until we do something bold enough to engage the hearts and spirits of the average citizen, we're losing the battle. And so I think it's time to be really bold and to get more art and all the arts engaged in this enterprise. Because often that's the way significant shifts are made in cultural. While I celebrate what LEED has accomplished, and it deserves compliments to the thousands of volunteers that created it, what troubles me the most, I think, is that we stopped with this idea of just reducing the amount of damage we're creating with these buildings. And so we're constantly focusing on the negative, and we just stopped short of the big idea, which is actually do something restorative or loving. So we thought, well, let's start by just doing less damage. But all the categories of LEED, even platinum, is just third-party certification. You're doing less damage to the environment than everyone else. And if you believe the large pattern science, which Jason, you do and I do and increasingly thousands of others do, then doing less damage is inappropriate. It's a vulgar act in today's world, and each act has to be loving or regenerative or restorative. And so it takes a whole shift, I think, in consciousness to get to that point. And certainly the Living Building is a way of expressing that. There could be others, but we just have to start with the mindset that I'm no longer willing just to reduce my impact on the environment. I have to do something that actually enhances. And that's the shift we need to make. And that is an act of the heart, of changing consciousness, of really living up to our human potential. Why we need to strengthen this message from the heart and recognize that everyone's hurting and everyone has the potential for love and compassion and caring, and touch that part of them. Basically, even if they're acting in an outrageous, fearful way, to be able to see through that inside and know that there's something in there beautiful and loving that wants to be released, and invite them to find that and release it, unleash it. And for me, this would be the act of reclaiming our genius, shifting from doing less harm to doing something loving and positive. So I think that's what it's about.